Hi everyone, it's Nigel here again with another inbox review of a brand new kit. This time it's the Modelcollect B-52G. I'd like to start off by saying I got this kit from this company here through eBay, Veteranus Models. They have a website, they have a shop, they're on Facebook, there's their phone number. Really good bunch of guys, or guy, whatever, I don't know if it's a one-man band. I ordered this kit on Sunday afternoon on eBay, and it's now Tuesday evening. But Tuesday morning it arrived. Luckily my neighbour was home, so they were able to get it. Came with parcel force. So yeah, thank you Veteranus Models, fantastic service. And also the price, £69.99 this was, plus I think it was £3.70 postage. You know, it's a bargain. I know the kit retails for more than that. So yeah, thank you very much. Right, so before we go any further, can you please remember to hit that subscribe button down there. Give me a like, give me a dislike. If you give me a dislike, please tell me why. And also I'm interested to know what you guys think of this kit in the comments, how it compares to the others, and basically what you think of it. There's a lot of talk about it on the internet, so let's have a quick look in the box. Well, first I'll look around the outside the box. There's the box art there. I think we've all seen it enough. And then going around, it's quite a large box. We've got the some details about the kit there. There's the Decals sheet, so you can have a look at that. Made by Cartograph, which is nice, so they'll be perfect. And then we go on about the colour scheme. There's only one version in this kit, which is the Old Crow Express. Apparently the most modelled B-52G there is, and unfortunately this kit is the colour callouts are all by Ammo MIG. I don't like the paint, I think it's bloody awful, so later on I'll give you the alternative codes, other colours you can use. And then there's the weapons. We've got some AGM 109s and some AGM 86s, so more about that later as well. Not suitable for children under 15. If a child under 15 gets this kit, they're a very lucky boy. A lucky child, should I say, in this day and age. And then on the other side of the box, we're looking on the end there, you can see it's kit number UA72202. And this is following from their B2 bomber. Then as usual with these kits, there's a bit of info there. Feel free to freeze and have a read of that, because I'm not going to hang around here too long. And then we're looking at some CAD models. Some nice CAD models, a nice cockpit interior, probably the best B-52 interior out there. Went on about the weapons, tail end of the model, more about that later. Flaps, more about them later. Undercarriage, engines, and some detail in the undercarriage bay. And this kit's also got a detailed bomb bay, as you can see there. So what we'll do, we'll have a very quick look inside the box when I take the top off, and as we can see, it's pretty crammed full of plastic. So yeah, apparently there's 31 sprues in all. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bags, and it looks like Modelcollect, after their wonderful packing of their B2 with all the foam and everything, it looks like with this one they decided to chuck the wings in a bag with 2 other lots of sprues. So God only knows what they're going to be like. We've got an instruction manual there, some photo etch. We've got, looks like photo etch fins for the weapons. Oh, it's not colour, it's just black. Decals, not decals, photo etch for the instrument panels in the cockpit, and decals here, and then turning over all the walkways and everything for the wings. So there's our very quick look inside the box. Right, the sprues are all now debagged. Some of the bags are sealed shut, some of the bags are open and reclosable. One of the bags is actually open and it's not sealed, so it just comes out, and that was inside of a great big Airfix style plastic bag with all the wings and everything in. So packaging okay, haven't seen any damage yet, but the packaging isn't anything like as good as it was with the B2, sorry. So yeah, I don't know if it needs to be any better, but you know, whatever. So I start by looking at the bigger sprues first, because I've got to have the camera so high up and far away, and we'll discuss the parts on the sprues, and then I'll pause and come in and have a closer look at the smaller parts like the fuselage sections and stuff. So please remember, I'm not a B-52 expert. I do know a little bit because I've got books and it's my favourite aircraft, and I've read a few bits and pieces, and I've also seen a couple of reviews of this kit. But I will convey what I know, and if you disagree, agree, whatever, please speak to me in the comments, and together we could perhaps come up with the absolute Bible of B-52 accuracy. So first there was an overall view of the sprues. So I'm not going to go into accuracy or anything here, just want to talk about how the kit is made and how well it's moulded. This isn't about are the bombs the right size, this is about are the bombs nicely made. So here we can see this sprue here. We've got the 4 upper sections of the 4 engines. We've got some detail here for some bays, and we've got the launch pylons and undercarriage gear doors. I see we've got some sink marks here. Oh no, we haven't, they're actually moulded in. Sorry, they're not sink marks, they're moulded in. One thing I have noticed, this section here is flat. If you look at your references, if you wanted to do this with a partial load, this area here is extremely detailed, it's all hollow and everything, so you wouldn't actually be able to display this accurately with that like that. Gear door interior detail is simple, but at least there's no ejector pin marks, and it's quite amazing how thick those gear doors are, and they've managed to get no sinks in them at all. You can see some mould lines and flow lines, but there's no sink marks in them. Engines, for those that are wondering, because we know that the AMT engines are small on the G version, I've measured these and they're 34mm wide at the front, and overall length, including the intakes, works out to be about 65mm. So perhaps you can let me know in the comments, are they right or are they wrong? I don't have a G kit to compare them to. So there we go, there's that. Here are the tail sections and stabilisers, and they look nicely done. Panel lines are a little heavy, but not overly so. They're not as bad as the B2 was. They're certainly very, very crisp and very, very clean. Of the 3 kits, this is probably the nicest for those panel lines. And then we've got the tail section there, which is quite nice. Not sure about the accuracy of these lines, but that's not what this is about. Got some parts down here. This is obviously some parts of the radio bays for the interior. Access hatch ladder. I guess this is that's the access hatch itself. This is probably part of the instrumentation. And then we've got some more. This is the radio gear here for the back. Some more radio gear and boxes. Outrigger wheels, but they look quite nice. More Outrigger wheels over here. Again, looking very nice. More interior detail. That looks like a headrest of some sort. And there's a part missing there, so I'll have to see if that's in the bag somewhere or was missing before. Main cockpit, here's the overall view of this sprue. This is sprue A, and we've got the, wow, they're thick, very thick. How thick they are. We've got the flaps here. Bombay roof, which has got some detail. I'm not sure about the accuracy, but it's got some detail there. Then we've got the bomb racks. We've got the sides. Rotisserie there for the AGM-86s. Some kind of vent or something. I don't know what that's for, but we'll soon see. More interior parts by the look of it. That's the mounting for the AGM, for the rotisserie. Then we've got the Bombay ends here. Framework for the undercarriage legs, very nicely done. Bombay doors here, we'll have a look at the inside of those in a minute. And main cockpit floor. And then we've got a bulkhead here, because remember from we saw on the side of the box, this has got the lower deck as well. You're never going to see it, but it's there. And then we've got the Bombay internal detail, which is nice. No sink marks, no ejector pins, all really nice. It's broken away from the sprue there. And again, you can see on the back of the flaps, no sink marks, no ejector pin marks. Well done, Modelcollect. This is quite nice. And then we've got our engine pylons. Very simple, with no panel lines on them whatsoever. Not sure that's correct. Some badly scratched parts here. This is where they all get chucked in the bag together. So that's something they should remember not to do. It's a flash on the sprue, but only on the sprue. These are the drop tanks. Undercarriage legs for the outriggers. Here we go. Looks like a broken part there. I don't know what that is. That's probably part of the detail in the Bombay, but it's broken anyway. Maybe something's actually broken off in between there. We'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, these are the doors for the Outrigger wheels. Nice bit of detail on them. Again, no ejector pin marks. This is the first double up sprue. We've got two of these. These are obviously the tops of the engines. Sorry, the undersides of the engines. And then we've got the wheels here. So look at the detail on those. The inner face is quite nice. Outer face is quite nice. Certainly better than the competition. So yeah, that's all lovely. Looks like we've got the rear seats for the, or is this the back of a seat? I don't know. It looks like it's probably the rear seats. And then we've got the, oh, this is probably the back of an ejector seat. And then this is the rear seat. Tail end of the engines there. Got the intakes here. Don't know what this is without looking at the instructions. And then all these circles, I don't think these are probably internal external parts for the engines. Undercarriage legs, because you get that frame. If you remember out of the sprue I showed you the frame, they're quite short, hence they'll be fairly strong. No need for any replacements there. Some pipework detail. Looks like that may be some Bombay door hinges, very, very heavy. Some more detailed parts there, but no, as far as moulding and crispness goes, it's all looking very nice. I believe these ejector seats are wrong. I think I read somewhere they're wrong, but whatever they are, they're nicely moulded, especially for 72nd scale. Excuse me. Then we've got our AGM-86s, or cruise missiles, and they're nice. You get the option to have the wings extended or closed. So there's 5 of these in the kit, 5 sprues like this in the kit. So if you don't use them, you'll have lots and lots for the spares box. Oh, unfortunately, I've just noticed there massive sink marks. That one there, that one there. Yeah, so that one there, that one there. The others seem okay. Again, we get 5 of these. These are fins. And we get 5 of these. More parts for the missiles. And we get 3 of these. These are the AGM 109s. You only get 3 of these. I'm not a big weapons expert, so I don't know where these would go, but if we don't have the other pylons, I don't think these would be used on the AGM 86 pylons. Again, we've got the photo etch which I looked at earlier. You can see that in a bit more detail there. Let's get it out the bag. So there's the photo etch, the fins, which are all wrapped in plastic, nice and safe. Quite nice and thin. They'll look much better than the plastic parts. And then we've got the instrument panel and consoles in black photo etch there. Yeah, it's just black. Strange. And then last but not least, I don't want to get these out of the bag in case I put this in the stash. We've got the decals, some nice low-vis markings, and these, as I say, are made by Cartograph. There we go, you can see down the bottom, Cartograph. And we've got all the walkways, got some stencil data there. That looks like it's probably weapons. Some more stencil data there. Can it be read? Yes, it can. And there's no steps there. And then we turn it over, you've got this small sheet in the back, which is for the old Crow Express. I did read somewhere apparently this blue is the incorrect colour or something, but that could always be faded back or brightened up. And then you've got the legend there that goes on the side of the aircraft and the strike count. As I say, apparently this is the most common modelled B-52 is Old Crow Express. So let's have a look at the instructions. Nice glossy booklet as usual with Modelcollect, and then opening it up we've got the glossy paper all the way through, which is playing havoc with the light. There's some information about the aircraft there, probably the same as on the side of the box, but feel free to pause and have a read. And we've got some specifications there and some drawings going down. And there's the legend at the bottom with all the symbols and everything. So quickly going through, won't do anything too detailed. Parts call out, again like the B2, all very, very heavy ink. And again, just like the B2, very, very simple parts breakdown. You can see here we've got the seats going onto the floor, then adding some consoles, putting the seats onto the floor again. Nice interior detail here, you've got the complete wraparound for the cockpit, which is nice. And then fitting all that in there. Then the underfloor, the lower floor level, and then you've got the open access there for the crew access, which would be nice. You might be able to see a little bit of this up through, but I doubt with a model this size you're going to want people picking it up and looking in there. And then we've got the undercarriage going together onto those frames. Remember we saw those on the Sprues. Undercarriage bays. Yeah, you're going to make 2 of those, I guess. Yeah, and I still don't know what they are. They're obviously part of the undercarriage mechanism, are they? Weapons together. Putting the AGM-86s together and then putting them onto a rotisserie into the bomb bay. Fitting the bomb bay up, fitting the cockpit and lower floor between the cockpit front, the fuselage front halves, glazing there, separate parts. I hope they fit well. Separate crew access door, which is nice. Then we move on to the centre section of the fuselage and putting some details in around the bomb bay and landing gear. And then it looks like those big pieces I pointed out, they're actually landing gear hinges. It looks like there's no option to have the landing gear up on this one. Then we've got the detail pieces going inside the sides of the bomb bay there, adding the roofs of the undercarriage bays. More undercarriage work going in there, another roof, some stays for the, or supports for the undercarriage mechanism, and then putting the 2 fuselage halves together. Oh dear. Putting the bomb bay doors on, then building the rear, and then building the absolute rear. And then we got the some more weapons going together here, then assembling the engines. Nice intakes and everything. That's what those tubes before we pointed out on the Sprues. Adding the pylons and making the fuel tanks up. Putting the weapons onto the AGM-86 pylons. Telling you to drill some holes here. So they are telling you to use these 109s on those pylons. Or are they different pylons? Are they the same pylons using a different? I'm not sure they carried those weapons on those pylons, we'll see. And then the wing halves going together. Just a simple straight top and bottom fit, as you can see there. We'll look at those in a minute. And then we've got the engines going onto the wings and the drop tanks, or the external tanks. Adding in the flaps, I couldn't think of the word then, but the flaps. Adding the engines to the other side, and then here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this fuselage is in 8 sections, 8 pieces, 4 sections. Lovely. Adding the wings to the fuselage, putting the fin and the tail planes together, and then going through, showing you here detail of the interior and the bomb bay. And if you've noticed, all the way through there, not a single colour call out for any of it. So we've had a look at the instructions, we've had a look at the sprues. Now let's have a quick look at all the fuselage parts. Right, just before we start looking at these fuselage parts, I forgot to show you the clear parts, and they are crystal clear with hardly any distortion whatsoever. You can see the roof parts there. They are really, really nice. Just put those back in their bag. They come, as you can see here, they come in a resealable bag, which is nice. Just before we start looking as well, this fell off the sprue. This is the 4 machine guns on the tail. So 50 cals they are. So these are the fuselage parts. The first thing I want to say is, why do kit manufacturers keep doing this? Why do they keep making fuselages in multiple sections? Getting the join perfect is never easy. And as you can see here, we've got this nose is going to join this fuselage section here. There's a tiny little lip to put them together, and when you put them together, you line up the panel lines, and you can see there straight away you've got a joint which you've got to deal with. Now myself, when I build this, I'll probably glue all these sections together, so I've got 2 big fuselage halves, just like the Revell monogram kit. Anyway, negatives aside, positives, nice moulded fuselage, nice sort of texture on the plastic, crisp panel lines. It's got this awful mould seam here, which is the same as the AMT Italeri kit, and it goes right over the top, so there's going to be some sanding required there. But panel lines are heavy enough to not lose any detail. Note as well, there's no rivet detail whatsoever. The detail here on the vents on the side is very nice. Very, very crisp, you know, a bit of black wash in there, they look lovely. Lacquer ducts could be a bit nicer, perhaps open them out and put something in behind them, just to improve the look of them. Yeah, fuselage centre sections there. No sections, there's some discussion going on about shape, I won't get into that now, but the moulding is crisp and clean. Great big sink mark here you can see, which is unfortunate. This shape here is incorrect, I think. But again, nice vent moulding, lovely detail moulding on the top for the ejection doors, but there has been some talk about apparently these are too far back or something. So there we have that. And then we've got the rear section of the fuselage here, which is, so that's going to go sort of, the tail planes will go on here, and then the actual extreme rear section here. And any B-52 buffs around, yes, pun intended, you'll know that this is completely wrong. All they've done is added the covered up rear gunner section, but all this should be moved back, and all this shouldn't be there at all. Apparently Modelcollect are going to issue a correction set for it, free of charge for existing owners, and all they had to do is have to pay for the postage. Again, we've got some sink marks in the middle there. It's really strange, they've made some really thick, wonderful parts in this kit, and they're sink mark and ejector pin free, but then on some parts of this they've got sink marks. But I'm just moaning, I'm just being picky. So there we go. Again, there's a sink mark there, which has affected the that size. This side's got the sink mark there, which is looks like it may have slightly pulled down the upper fuselage section. But no, all in all, I'm quite impressed with this as a kit, as the moulding and the crispness and everything. Obviously, I haven't got a clue what the fit's going to be like, but looks quite nice. And finally, look at the wings. Lower section of the wings here, again all nice and crisp and straight. They seem to have the correct shape on them. Upper wing section here, let's look at the underside. You've got some very simple detail with some bloody great ejector pin marks where the flaps will drop down. More about that later. Some internal detail for the outrigger wheels, or the outrigger wheel base should I say. Just clean up on there. It's a lot nice with a bit of paint and a bit of weathering. Top surface of the wings, again you've got the vortex things there, whatever you call them, I can't remember now. Vortex generators. And upper surface, nice and crisp detail. But we notice here there's no spoiler detail whatsoever. I'll check my references, it could be that the G didn't have them, but I think it did. So yeah, a bit unfortunate there. And also we can feel here, not that it matters because it's a B-52 at the end of the day, but there's some sink marks there from the detail on the other side, but very slight, very slight. So there we have it. All in all, nice kit, nicely moulded, few little problems, but I mean for $69.99, I mean it's the price of a, well it's cheaper isn't it, than a 72nd scale Hasegawa Tomcat. So yeah, I'm impressed with the moulding, and I'll end it there. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please like, dislike, and please add to the comments, what do you think about this kit? Have you read some of the reviews about it? I'm going to do another one, a comparison comparing this kit and the others, and I'll put a video together now about that, and I think that should put the cat amongst the pigeons, because I think this kit certainly has got some issues. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, goodbye.